of course, in our subsequent bulletins. But then we shift our attention to the federal government introducing a 5% surcharge on fossil fuel products to take effect from January 2026, including petrol and diesel under a new tax act. The levy becomes chargeable at the earliest occurrence of supply, sale, or payment and will be calculated based on retail prices. According to the law, the Federal Inland Revenue Service will administer and collect the surcharge monthly, with the minister empowered to fix its commencement date through an official gazette. However, the surcharge will not apply to clean or renewable energy, household kerosene, cooking gas, and compressed natural gas. Clean energy, as defined by the Act, includes solar, wind, hydropower, geothermal, and plant or animal waste, which are renewable and environmentally friendly. Now, joining us to discuss this further is Abiodun Kayode-Alli, who is the Senior Tax Manager at PwC Nigeria. Thank you so much, Abiodun, for joining us on the news.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Liko.
You're welcome. So the tax reforms are expected to simplify the tax process, reduce inflation and tax burden on not so economically empowered Nigerians, among other things. But how will that be when a 5% tax on fossil products lurks around the corner?
Yeah. Thank you, Liko. So the point is, this particular surcharge that was introduced in the Nigerian Tax Act, it's not new in itself. It was actually under the Federal Emergency Road Maintenance Act, FEMA Act, which I think took effect in 2007. The problem had just been that the administration had not gone smoothly. So what we currently have in the NTA is that the burden of the administration has been shifted to the Nigerian Revenue Service with respect to collecting it. So I think, like you said in your intro, the point is that the Minister of Finance has the power to actually state the date of commencement. So it's not something that we expect to kick off anytime soon. And given the fact that since the removal of the subsidy, prices of fuel petroleum product have skyrocketed, I don't think it's something that would come up anytime soon from where I sit right now.
Okay, so just to be clear on this, are there particular products that would be covered under this new tax laws or regime?
Okay, so yes, it applies to all fossil fuel products, meaning any product that is coming from fossil fuels like petroleum, diesel, and the likes. You them, with the exception of those items that you made reference to, clean energy products, as well as cooking gas, right, household kerosene. These are the only exceptions that it won't apply to, so to apply to every other product. So I guess this is also another way of incentivizing investment in clean energy. So that's it, Liko.
Let's look at it from the angle of the CNG that is not even fast spread right now, and we're even seeing an increase to about 380, 500 naira per recharge. Now, do you think that this policy, as good as it may seem, whether incentivizing or not, is timely right now? Because some people feel it could further be putting a strain on Nigerians when other alternatives have not been fully exploited.
Yeah, and you actually make a good argument. So if you look at things from both angles, right, there is that advantage in the sense that it helps to show up Nigeria's revenue. But like you rightly said, yes, it does impact on the citizens negatively. However, one thing I see is that to some extent you are also curtailing the acts of people who would want to engage in arbitrage, who would want to buy things cheaper and sell it outside the borders of Nigeria. So you're right, we do need to work on things like fixing our borders, right? And to some extent you do need to create subsidy, but the point there is that you should only be subsidizing production as opposed to consumption. So as much as possible, what I would say is that the government tries to support most of the producers and suppliers who can actually supply these products at cheaper prices. In terms of the timing, I think it's better now. That's what I would say. But with respect to the implementation of the surcharges itself that we've made mention of, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Then one other thing I would like to chip in is that even within the Nigeria Tax Act, there is a provision for introduction of VAT on these products, including the ones that are clean energy. But it's not going to take effect until the minister, through an order, actually issues or states that these taxes should commence, right? And the minister also has the power to suspend them. So given that the Minister of Finance can actually see that the removal of subsidy is actually impacting on people, I don't think the Minister of Finance would actually bring these things into law anytime soon. And one other important thing I must state is that generally, if you look at it from a global perspective, most countries of the world actually impose these taxes on petroleum products. Countries like the United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, most countries across the world actually do this. But I think Nigeria is delaying these things until they can see some stability and some gains from the other benefits that are contained in this tax law, which will take effect from next year. And one thing I must also emphasize is that the purpose for this surcharge, even though it won't be collected anytime soon, is to actually be used for maintenance of the roads. That's one vital thing I must state. Well,
whether now or later, that particular tax law will eventually come into play and Nigerians will pay. That's just the bottom line. Thank you so much, Abiodun Kayode-Alli, Senior Tax Manager at PwC Nigeria, for sharing your thoughts with us on the news.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Leko.